Hey, everybody. Today we're going to look at what we call data groups. Data groups are a way for you to combine multiple data sets together into one unified view so you can get a holistic view into kind of how users are experiencing web, mobile, in-store all together at once. It's kind of a key aspect of journey analytics. So to show you what I've got, we've got some tables here in BigQuery, and you can see I've got some web analytics data, some mobile analytics data. I've got some call center events, some in-store transactions. And what we're going to do is go through how all of this data gets combined together into what we call a data group so that you can then do some cool unified analysis against that. So looking at the web analytics data here, you can see we've got a bunch of different fields. One thing I want to call out is event type. That's a field that is available in web analytics, and I also have it in mobile analytics here. But our call center data doesn't have an event type, nor does our in-store data in here. Also, there's other data that's specific just to web, so like page URL, for example. And mobile has other things too, like screen name or whatever. So when we tie all this stuff together, the system has to kind of unify all these schemas together and make sense of them. And that's what we're going to dive into with data groups. Okay, switching over to the home screen here on Trevor with Data. Last time we went through source connectors, how to hook up a BigQuery warehouse. We went through data sets, how to sync data sets and stuff. But in this walkthrough, I'm going to show you how to create a data group. When you create a data group, basically you're going to define which data sets you want to pull all together. It's pretty simple. So I might say, fake retail data and give it a description. Here, I'm going to select from the different data sets that I've brought in before from my warehouse and decide to bring them in to my data group. So I'm going to grab all four of those event data sets. You can see I have identity stitching, which we'll cover in a future post, but not right now. I've got lookup data sets and I've got aggregate data sets. And I'm going to actually name this number 2 because I've already got one for the demo. But when I hit create data group, what's going to happen is behind the scenes, it's taking all of these synced data sets that we created and it's merging them together. And it's doing a bunch of intelligent stuff behind the scenes. It's organizing that data, it's resorting it and partitioning it in a way that makes it super conducive to doing analysis. But I've got one already made here, so we don't have to wait for it to be created. So I'll just cancel out of that. And let's go ahead and dive into this one that I've already set up. You can see here it's got all 4 event data sets, lookup data sets, and one aggregate data set. One of the cool things that you can also see is when I click on the schema button, I can see the unified schema where it's kind of brought all of these different schema fields together into one view that's defining my data group. In some cases, I have these sort of JSON objects, like device info, and I can expand those, geo. I can even do a little preview to see some sample values that exist in that unified set of data. So you can see some of the example values I have in there. I can also look at my lookup data sets, for example, my product catalog. I can see which field is set up as the key field and the other values I have in there. So kind of nice to see the schema. But let's dive into doing some actual analysis and show you kind of what this means. So let's take a look at, remember that field event type? I had event type. That was something that existed in the web analytics data and the mobile data, but not other stuff. So I also have created this event source, which just shows me which data set it came from. And I'll go ahead and add that in here. And you can see my event source shows I've got event type values coming from mobile app events like add to cart or app open. And then I've got website events like checkout start and page views that are specific just to the website events. And then again, call center and point of sale, which we showed had no event type field, are null. which is great. That means my data has been really unified together and I can get this holistic view of my users that I'm analyzing. I can also look at page URL. So if I look at page URL, you see obviously most of these are going to be website events. If I do a quick filter to say, hey, when it's null, I can also see, okay, that's what I expect. So call center, point of sale, mobile app are null. So really cool. Revenue is a metric. And when I bring that in, you can see my revenue is actually unified across all of the different data elements. So I can see revenue coming from website and mobile app, again, unified into one metric. So a data group is kind of the cool thing behind the scenes that unlocks this cross-channel view of your users. And that's what I wanted to show you. So thanks and good luck out there.